Magos. I need a coordinator for my Skitarii. I find they are troublesome to organize and manage myself.
As you command, Magos.
So a while back I scored a Skitarii Marshal through the Imperium magazine, and today it's time to build the thing up and then work on it. So you can see here I'm furiously cutting away at the parts on it and attaching it together. The main focus of this video is actually the base, because I put in a fair bit of work. But yeah, the Skitarii Marshal is a neat concept. Do I feel like it could have done with more options on the kit? Most certainly, looking at the retail price of this thing. But it is a nice model. I won't deny that. I'm not sure the paint job that I'll show you soon will do it justice, but you can see me building it up here, and I build it up to be in sub-assemblies to make it easier to paint. And you can see here that I'm working on sorting out basing detail. Now I take the trim off a spare Knight Armiger pauldron that I had, because the Knight Armigers come with 2 sets of pauldrons per model, thanks to the different loadouts. And I also ended up with spares at the start of the year when I bought a pair of legs. Or wait, no, not legs, feet. Anyway, so yeah, you can see me decorating the base here. I also use some white paint to mark where the foot goes. That ends up becoming a bit more of a suggestion later on for me, but from here I'm adding in chunks and pieces and probably not being very safe with the knife. But yeah, I took a galvanic rifle and also the sensor piece out of the old style teleport homer, and now I'm going over the base with bicarb to just bring up the texture a bit. And here we have it primed, and I will cut from the painting here onto the final model. So here we have the Skitarii Skitarii Marshal. I've said Magos so many times that the word almost has lost all meaning to me. But yeah, I've put in quite a lot of work on this model. I could probably go back over the gold, but yeah. So, the model itself is neat. I'll just speed the turntable up a bit. So yeah, the model itself is a neat piece of work. Now, the rest of the original base is here, with just the tactical rock. If you're going to do a tactical ruin under a model like this, you might as well do it proper. But yeah, I quite like what I did with this model. Now the turntable is making it seem like it's a lot more angled, like it's falling over, but it's actually not. The way the coat drapes is kind of doing that. And the pose probably isn't helping, but yeah, it's the details wise, this is a very well detailed model, probably better than my paint job portrays. And certainly was an interesting task to get this thing painted. I actually started on this back in April, but it's been kind of worked on in the background a bit. Oops, I was chopping the pistol off there. So yeah, maybe the actual thing the base is on isn't flat. That could be the problem. But yeah, in terms of comparing it in height to another Skitarii, he is bigger. Now that's partly the base. But he is augmented to be bigger. Like, look at his legs. His leg is huge. He has a huge leg. You compare it to like the Skitarii normal legs. Yeah, now I don't have any spare mechanicus transfers, so I had to make do. So I chose to put the start of what was going to be binary for for hello, or actually no, not hello, it was going to be hi, but ran out of room and instead just chose to make him Marshal 100. But yeah, kind of a thing I went to try and do with the painting was to have it so that the light was emanating from here and made parts of him look brighter at the front than at the back. I don't think I succeeded, but it was an attempt. The journey toward actually being good at OSL is a long one, and I'm not wanting to go too hard on it. But yeah, now my misgivings with this kit, there are a few. I had a bit of trouble getting bits to sit together smoothly, most certainly the cape, as you can see in a moment once it spins around. Now this model is probably designed to go together with plastic glue, which is an acetate based thing that melts plastic, or not acetate, sorry, solvent based. That helps to get things to go together properly. If I hadn't have had the backpack separate, the details on the coat would have been even harder to paint, and things would have got joined together with spray paint and so on in ways that aren't particularly helpful or flattering. So yeah, I'm glad I did things the way I did there, but yeah, details wise, yeah, it's a nice model. I probably could have spent even longer than I did, but I wanted to get this thing battlefield ready, and so that in theory it could command some troops at some point in a small game. Now, in all honesty, I started work on this thing long before we had the update that actually made mechanicus vaguely good. Now, I can't say the update is good or bad because I haven't really read the codex, or, well, I haven't got the codex, it's too expensive at the moment. When I properly pick which army I'm running this edition, the codex will be the one I get. Till then, I will run off indexes. But, yeah. Now, this model should have been, if I'm being perfectly honest, some version of this model, or unit, should have been released alongside the Skitarii back in 2015. Because Skitarii, when they were first launched, were launched as Skitarii, and a few months later, mechanicus were launched as a separate thing. Skitarii didn't have a HQ model, they had Skitarii. There was formations and detachments that let you take both together, but Skitarii didn't get to be their own. Skitarii were forced to be their own army without a HQ and a troop choice. Well, no, HQ, troop transport, and a couple of other things, but mainly the lack of a transport and lack of a dedicated HQ were the problem. At the time, I'd been interested in the idea of conversion building a HQ for my Skitarii that followed the codex for Skitarii, but I didn't have the copy of the codex nor all the models together to do it. And then things changed. 8th edition happened, and we went a long way through 8th edition before we finally got some expansion to the mechanicus and the Skitarii. What a journey the Skitarii have been on. From being something mentioned in the lore vaguely to being a fully functional army, and yeah, they've been on a wild ride. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've rambled on long enough. This is a neat this little model is a neat one. If you're wanting to get into mechanicus, I'd say grab this. It's a nice model. I can't vouch for the rules because I'm not, someone who plays all that much at the moment, so knowing the rules back inside and out isn't really my thing yet. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you've got this model, how have you painted it? I'd love to hear in the comments section. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye. Now it's time for me to get these finished so I can finally do the Jump Pack Canonist standalone video.